Okay, so this is the CBA 2 review. We're doing some problems today, and we're going to do the rest of the problems tomorrow because the test is Thursday. So the problems that I want you to do today, and I'm going to do some of these with you. I need you to go ahead and circle number 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16, 17, and 18. Out of those problems, I'm going to do number 1 with you. I'm going to do number 3 with you. I'm going to do number 5, number 7, number 8, and number 10 with you. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and start with problem number 1. Problem number 1 is asking to solve. Right, it says what value of x makes this correct. So because you see equal sign, you're going to draw the line and we're solving. So you're going to follow the steps. Step number 1, do I have to distribute? Yes, because there's parentheses here and there's parentheses here. So I'm going to distribute 1/2 times x is 1/2 x. 1/2 times 3. You put that in the calculator. Parentheses 1/2 times 3. Enter. Math, enter, enter. Gives you 3/2. So we're going to put 3/2. Here, 1/2 times 3 is a positive 3/2 equal. Distribute the 2. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times negative 3 is a negative 6. If you mess up on the sign, you're going to get the question wrong. So I did that one. Step number 2, combine like terms. On the left, there's nothing to combine. This one has an x, this one doesn't. On the right, same thing. This one has an x, this one doesn't, so you don't combine those. There's no combining. Step 3, move the smallest variable. So out of the 1/2 x and the 2x, 1/2 is smaller. So you have to move the 1/2 x by subtracting 1/2 x from both sides. And remember, you're going to put it in parentheses in the calculator. 2 minus 1/2 in parentheses. So the calculator, 2 minus 1/2 is 1.5. And we can just leave it like that. If you want to leave it like that, let's leave it that way. So it's 1.5 x. Bring down the minus 6 and bring down the 3/2 equal. Okay, and then the last step is see do. So what do you see happening with the x? Is being multiplied by 1.5 and they subtract 6. So the first thing you need to do is to add 6 to both sides. Okay, so we're going to put this in parentheses in the calculator, 3/2 plus 6. 3/2 plus 6, enter. Gives you 7.5. Let's just leave it like that. 7.5 equals, and then 1.5x. The last step is to divide by 1.5. So divide both sides by 1.5, and that'll give you the answer. So let's put that in the calculator. 7.5 divided by 1.5. And that gives you 5. So your answer is 5. X equals 5. So we'll put it right here. The value of x has to be 5. Okay? Problem number 3, you're going to do the same thing. Okay, it's an inequality, but you still have to put the line down the middle, and you still have to follow the steps. Step number 1, distribute. So you have to distribute the negative 3 to both of those. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 2 is a positive 2. Bring down the symbol and bring everything else down, minus 5x minus 3. Step number 2, combine like terms. These do not look the same and these do not look the same, so we are not going to combine anything. Step number 3, move the smallest variable. What's smaller, negative 5 or negative 3? If you said negative 5, you are correct. Negative 5 is smaller than negative 3, so to get rid of it, you add 5x to both sides. Negative 3x plus 5x, you would put in the calculator negative 3 plus 5. That gives you a positive 2x. Bring down plus 2. Bring down the negative 3. Bring down the symbol. Everything comes down. And then the last step is see do. So what do you see happening with the x? It's multiplying by 2, and they added 2. So the first thing you're going to do is to subtract 2 from both sides. So minus 2, because I'm trying to get rid of this one. Put it in the calculator, negative 3 minus 2, and see what it gives you. Negative 3 minus 2 is a negative 5. Bring down the symbol, bring down the 2x, and let's go do the last step. Opposite of multiplications, to divide by 2. So you would divide by 2 on both sides. Do math, enter, enter, and that's going to be your answer. Now, notice the symbol. You have to ask yourself, am I going to flip it or not? Well, did you divide by a negative or not? We did not. We divided by a positive, so the symbol stays. The x comes here. This gives you negative 5 over 2 once you did math, enter, enter. And then you can flip the whole thing. So x is less than negative 5 over 2. Flip it because it's the same thing. And then you would look for this as your answer. Problem number 5. It's saying for a square whose side length is equal to 2x plus 4, the perimeter can be expressed as p equals 4 parentheses 2x plus 4. It says solve for x. So that means I want the x by itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is distribute. 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times 4 is positive 16 equal p. Remember, I want the x by itself. So what's happening to the x? See do. The x is being multiplied by 8 right now. And they added 16. So what am I going to do first? Subtract 16 from both sides. Okay, read it. It says p minus 16. So we're going to write p minus 16 equals 8x. And then the last step is to divide by 8. So divide by 8 here and divide the whole thing by 8 here. This is your answer. X equals p minus 16 all over 8. And you would look for something like that as one of your answer choices. If, let's say the answer is not there, what do? You have to divide the p by 8, and you have to divide the negative 16 by 8. So that would be x equals p divided by 8 is p over 8. And negative 16 divided by 8, put it in the calculator. Negative 16 divided by 8 gives you a negative 2. So I would put minus 2. And you would look for that as one of the answers. So again, the answer is either going to look like this. If it doesn't look like this, you go ahead and divide, and it will look like this one. Okay? I'm going to do the other 3 problems on the next video, so make sure that you watch that one. Whatever I don't do with you in these videos, you're doing by yourself, and we're going to check them tomorrow. Make sure that you're correct so that you're prepared for the CBA.